he is treated as the owner of the company. This is a normal thing. And where the objects of the company have been decided, but if you want to change the objects of the company, 75% of the people must at least approve of that. So these are all details of the company law. But from our point of view, what is important is that every company, the main purpose of people contributing the shares is that I want to earn money. So if I have to earn money, therefore the company's main purpose is to earn profits. Only if the company is able to earn profits, you will get some return. If the company does not earn profits, you won't get. So initially, all companies thought the most important thing is the company must be profitable. The company must give a good dividend. Only then it is running properly. And the duty of the company was nothing else other than the purpose is to make profits. The purpose of company, they said, is only to make profits. But then what happened? At that time, there are people who are shareholders. Shareholders say, if you give me the profit, I am happy. Americans had a system for that. Americans would appoint a managing director, chief executive officer. And they would tell him, look here, I am appointing you, I am giving you 2 years' time. You must actually make my company pay me 20% dividend. If I have paid 10 rupees share, every year I must get 2 rupees on that. Outside, I will get only maximum from bank, I will get only on 10 rupees, 1 rupees, 10% only I will get. But you must give me double that. So you must give me 20%. So this is the normal thing. And they used to call it the 220. The chief executive is given 2 years' time, you must give me 20% return on the investment. It is called the 220. In America, it is the normal form for a company. So you can understand. So the shareholder wants a return from the company. Now, it's not only shareholder. There are employees also. What do the employees want? Employees say, sir, I must get good salary, I must get good increment. If there is inflation, I must get a little more money, I must get DA. All this is coming from the employees. Without the employees, the company cannot function. Then there are banks. Without borrowing money, you can't invest. So you have to borrow money. So the banks are there. He is called the lender. The lender says, unless you are able to repay my interest and you do well, then only. So I have also an interest in the company. Then there is a vendor. You have to purchase machinery. He is selling the machinery. He is called the vendor to the company. The vendor says, I have also a role to play in your company's success. Customer says, if I don't purchase, where is the profit for you? I must purchase. So I am the most important fellow on your premises. Mahatma Gandhi said that the most important customer is the most important person on your premises. Peter Drucker said that the purpose of business is to create a customer. Without a customer, business won't work. So he said the purpose of business is to create a customer. Mahatma Gandhi said customer is the most important person. Companies are saying that the customer is the man who sustains the company. So customer is God to me. So you see, customer says, I am also important in the company. Then apart from that, company is set up in some place. That fellow says, I have given land for this thing, I must have some share of your profit. The society says, you have come and constructed, you have laid a road, every day your lorry is going, creating so much dust, so much pollution. Now what is you are doing for my village? What is it you are doing for me? He also says, I have a stake in the company. So you see, in a company, you have the shareholder, you have the employee, you have the lender, you have the vendor, you have the customer, you have the society. All of them have a stake in the company's well-being. If the company does well, all of them benefit. If the company does not do well, not only the shareholder, all these fellows also will be losing out. So that is why shareholder means I want profit. Stakeholders, all these people also have a stake in the company. They are called stakeholders. So all the stakeholders say, company must be all right, my interest also must be taken care of. So it is not merely getting profit, but also seeing that every one of us, our requirements are also met. So the society says, why don't you actually spend some portion of your profits on helping by laying a road, or by giving some skill training, or by building a water tank, or building something for my village. So everyone is saying you must. So this is called corporate social responsibility. So the company has moved from merely making money to satisfying so many people, also at the same time satisfying the society in which it is actually working. You understand? And unless you have the people supporting you, you will not be able to do. I was managing director of Godavari Fertilizer. The first thing I did was, I knew I am coming near Kakinada. So Kakinada people will say, company has come, big company is coming. So lot of actually dust will be there, lorries will be coming, this will be coming. So first thing I did is, I met all the senior people in Kakinada, and I put up a big board at Samarlakot Junction saying, Mavada Kakinada. Very simple sentence, Mavada Kakinada. I wanted to tell them, I am a citizen of Kakinada. I will take care of the people of Kakinada. So don't think that I am coming and creating problems. I will not create problems. Instead, I'll do something for you. So keeping my word, I said, I will actually locate it, put a green belt so that nothing goes out. Zero effluent discharge. I also said I'll give 10 acres out of my 700 acres to lay a new road from the beach straight to the national highway, so that not one of my lorries will go through the city. I said I will construct for you bus stands. I will actually train your people in stenography, in telephone, in other operations. I'll recruit people, train them, and then give them employment. So you see, I ensured that corporate social responsibility was part of the purpose of the company, because we are a government company. So we said it is part of the purpose. As a result, there was no problem at all, no pollution. At the same time, for 7 years I was there, no labor strike, no this thing, and making profits from day one. All this happened because you looked at corporate governance, not just corporate making profit, but corporate satisfying the customer, satisfying the employee, satisfying the society, satisfying the banker, satisfying all of them. You understand what I say? So you see, you have to give a larger meaning to what is meant by corporate governance. This is very important for us. And why did this concept of corporate, earlier there was no concept of corporate governance. People used to say company's duty is to make profits and distribute the profits. This was all the duty was. And they have to adhere to the law. They can't violate any law, but they have to earn money lawfully and distribute the benefits to shareholders. This was the concept. Now what happened was, everyone expected that the annual report of the company will be truthful, that it will be correct, it will be accurate, it will be fair, and that there will be no golmaal in the accounts. This was it. And what happened, many of the companies, if they wanted money, it is easy to raise money in the Western world because banks hold all the money. Like India, people don't buy gold, people don't keep cash in the house, everything is kept in the bank. So there, the banks actually are asked by the people, on our behalf, you also take shares. So most of the shares in Western companies are owned by the banks. So the banks become very important shareholders in all the companies. So a very, very important thing in Western world. So all these banks put their money and they also give them loans. All this thing is actually happening. Now, every year the annual report is published and many of the companies register themselves in the London Stock Exchange. Every company has to be registered and you have a registrar of companies where legal compliance to the Companies Act has to be ensured. In addition to that, if you are a public company, you have to list yourself with the SEBI, that is Securities Exchange Board of India. Like that, London Stock Exchange. But London Stock Exchange, it has been there for 200 years. So London Stock Exchange, not only English companies have them listed, all over the world people come and actually list their company. Similarly, New York Stock Exchange, people all over the world come and, why? Because in those countries, easy to raise money because people are rich. They can afford to buy shares. So it's easy to collect money. So there this money is collected, and since shareholders are not from only one country but from across the world, so there they expected London Stock Exchange has to supervise that all companies are correctly printing the shareholders. It is truthful account. It's a true and fair account of the accounts. This was what was expected. Suddenly what happened in the early 1990s, many of the companies showed very nice balance sheet and good profit section, giving an impression everything is very nice. And many more people started investing in the companies, thinking the company is doing very well, it is giving very good dividend. Suddenly they found companies which showed very good balance sheet, suddenly within 1 year, they actually went into very heavy losses. Then people started thinking, a company which has been doing well for 25 years, suddenly how can it happen like that? Then they realized maybe the information given in the annual reports are not correct. Maybe the auditors also have not properly audited the accounts, and they have certified the accounts without proper scrutiny. So once this thing happened, large number of people who were putting money in the companies, they started withdrawing the money from the company. And large number of people who had listed their companies in London Stock Exchange, they said, thank you very much. I never knew that. I can't even rely on the accounts that you have given. I can't rely on your annual report. I don't want to put my money in an unreliable company. So they started, we don't want London Stock Exchange. You see how the fact that they were not giving the facts as they are, not correctly putting it, so this created a big stir. And the government of Britain, everyone got worried. London Stock Exchange got worried. If all fellows withdraw from this, what will happen to the stock exchange? Will we be able to even pay our salaries? Government of England said, British government said, what? London Stock Exchange, 200 years it is working. Such a bad name for the country, we just can't allow this to happen. So they said, let us appoint a committee. So they appointed a committee with the chairman called Cadbury, Lord Cadbury. Cadbury is the person of chairman of the company where you have Cadbury's chocolate. Cadbury's chocolate company was in existence for 150 years. And in 150 years, they never gave a wrong statement. And in 150 years, their accounts were perfect. So the British government said the only company in which everyone has respect, everyone has confidence is Cadbury. So they said, let us appoint Lord Cadbury to be the chairman of a committee to look and then say what is going to happen. So this Cadbury committee was appointed. The man very quickly found out what had gone wrong. And he said, what has gone wrong is, every company has a board of directors. Has a board of directors. Those directors are supposed to see whether the company is being run properly or not. They are charged with the governance of the company. The chief executive, the managing director, is looking after the management of the company. But the governance of the company is vested in the board of directors who have to supervise them, who has to control them, who has to actually manage them, who has to direct them in what direction they should go. So they said, correct corporate governance means the system by which companies are directed and controlled. That system has to be strengthened. And they said, for strengthening that system, the first reform must be at the level of the board of directors. The board of directors must be people in whom people have trust and confidence, people who are honest, people who are upright, people who know the job. and people who know how the companies are run and how the companies can be directed. So we need to begin the reform that the board's direction and control must be good, then only the company will work well. So first statement. Then they said, the people who should be on the board must be above board. There should be no complaints about them. People on the board must be above board. That means there should be no suspicion about their skills or about their honesty. So this is the second important. Then they said, the manner of selection of judges, the board directors must be proper. And they said, the company is working in a particular area. Supposing it's a fertilizer company. What will the fertilizer company require? It will require a man who knows fertilizer industry. It will require a man who knows international agreement, because fertilizer has to be raw material from different countries, so he must know something of international contracts, international law. Then they said, oh, so many people are there, so we need someone who is good in human relations, who is good a HR expert. We need someone like that on the board. We need a man who is very good in finance and accounts, so we need a financial expert. We need a person who has to deal with the government because subsidy is involved. So we need a government ex-bureaucrat or someone who understands the government to be on our board. Then they said we need also a person who is very good in fertilizer business itself. Let us have him. So they said the composition must meet the requirements of skills in the company. If the company requires certain skills, let us get people who are expert in those things to be on the board. Then only we will have a good board. You see how? One, importance of the board, composition of the board, the skills that have to be assembled on the board, all these things came one by one. Then they said, if supposing I am Marwadi running a company, I will get only my friends and relations to be. So that whatever I say, everyone will say tadastu. Whereas, if you have people from different things, then each one will have the right to question. So therefore, nothing will go wrong. But there, so this is called the old boy school. That means if all of you are studied in the same school, same college, you know from young, you say, okay, all right, I think he's a good fellow, whatever he says, I'll do. So what was happening is they collected people who were all of the same mind. And therefore, there was no diverse thinking. There was no questioning. There was no proper answering. So